Alberta teachers have resoundingly rejected the latest offer from the province, and a strike is now just days away. The government says it will pay parents if their kids can't go to school. Joining us this morning is Jason Foster, a professor of labor relations at Athabasca University, for more insight on all of this. Jason, as we sit here this morning, Wednesday, with the strike looming on Monday, can this be avoided at this point?
Increasingly, my sense is no. Theoretically, there is some time. There's a few days left. I think one of the complications is that October 6th is the last possible day that the teachers can strike under their current strike mandate. And if they try to delay the strike, they would need to get a whole new strike vote and go through that whole process. And so that, I think, is an unfortunate complication, which means if they don't get a tentative deal in the next 48 hours, we probably have run out of clock.
Do you think if this does get to a strike, it will resolve quickly after that?
Well, I mean, quickly is relative. I don't think this is only going to be a day or two. I think if a strike does happen, we'll be looking at a week or two, or potentially even more. And so, yeah, I don't think it'll be fast, but hopefully it won't be too long.
The government has said that it will pay for childcare for parents who are looking at the situation with not having anywhere to go with their kids. What do you think of that move?
Well, first, I think it's a distraction. I think it's an unhelpful thing to say at this point. What they should be doing is getting back to the table and talking to the union about how do we get a new deal. The money that they're giving parents is token. It's like $30 a day. And it's essentially sending the message that they actually don't seem to care that the schools are going to close next week, potentially, because there are many options in terms of what the union does. But yeah, it feels like a distraction. It feels like they shouldn't be trying to offer up baubles to us. It feels like it's probably just an attempt to try and shift public opinion on the issue rather than try and solve the problem.
Now, on the matter of public opinion, does a strike favor either side at this point?
That's always hard to gauge. I mean, I certainly think that public opinion has been with the teachers to this point. And I think people understand why teachers are doing this. But once people are actually impacted, once people are actually kind of in the middle of it, it's hard to know where public opinion might go. I think so. I mean, that's part of the reason why both parties are working hard to try and send out their message and massage kind of what's happening in order to try and keep public opinion on their side.
So we found out on Monday that teachers in this province voted almost 90% against a tentative agreement with the province. Now, the union agreed to that tentative deal. Why did that happen, given the obvious rejection from teachers themselves?
Well, it's hard to know exactly what was the leadership's thinking around this. I mean, my best guess is that they thought that this is the best they could get, at least with the amount of bargaining power that they have at the moment. And so either they really thought that this was the best deal they could, or they thought they needed this really resound rejection to be able to increase their bargaining power in this situation, to be able to amp up the pressure on the government and on their employers. That's a possibility, but I have to admit, I don't know. They haven't been very forthright about that, so that's a bit of speculation on my part.
Now, just looking ahead to Monday and the potential of a strike, do we know what that strike would look like? Are we going to see teachers picketing out in front of schools?
We don't know yet. The union has not been very clear. They've not said anything about what their plans are, and that's pretty standard. They're not going to tell us until it happens. But they have multiple options. They could just literally walk out and shut down every school in the province. They could refuse to do extracurricular activities, or they could do rotating strikes where they target a board or a region for a few days and then switch. So we don't know what they do. All those are valid tactics. We saw that in Saskatchewan last year. That's what they did. They did rotating strikes and refused to do extracurricular activities. So it may look like that, or it might look like a full-scale walkout. We just don't know at this point, and we won't know until the union says something about what their plans are.
Okay, well, that's a good point for us to say. The Alberta Teachers Association president will be joining us in about 20 minutes, so we can ask some of those questions to him. But in the meantime, Jason Foster, thank you, as always, for your insight as this strike continues to loom.
Always my pleasure.